Gamecast from MSN.
Hello, dear listener. This is Ian Lee. Welcome to episode 109 of the MSN Gamecast. It's not just about games. That should be our slogan, I've decided, because I realised that saying a Gamecast, it will scare, people off.
What can we call it?
Well, MSN. Well, anyway, I'm Ian Lee, the lady's voice.
Hi, Verity.
That was it.
Hi,
I forgot for a second.
Verity.
There's a gentleman over there.
Watcher.
Nick. We're recording this on the one day of sunshine in this summer, and England haven't been knocked out of a football tournament yet.
Yay.
Just to kind of place it on your calendar. Have you been watching the football?
Yes.
Why?
Because I like it.
It's rubbish.
Don't you like it?
I can't stand football.
Can't you?
It's boring. I like FIFA. The reason I've worked out why I like FIFA but I don't like football is because FIFA, imagine football didn't exist, right? FIFA is just a really, really good computer game. It's like, I like Defender, but I don't necessarily have to go out in a spaceship and shoot aliens and pick up people that fall into the ground, do I?
I'm not sure that quite adds up as an analogy.
No.
It's a little bit of a stretch.
Well, why, but
If you enjoy playing it, like on a screen,
Yes.
why don't you enjoy watching it? Because
I think I've just explained that with my Defender
No,
analogy.
no, you haven't. That's why you don't like going out to play football. But why don't you like watching it on
Okay.
a TV screen? Because
Okay.
you could just pretend that you're controlling Steven
Okay.
Gerrard, even
I
though he's real.
like playing Defender. I don't like watching Prometheus.
Would you prefer watching football if you had a little earpiece fitted to Wayne Rooney and you could tell him what to do?
That would be
halfway through the
wicked.
game?
That would be wicked.
Yeah.
That would be wicked. Wouldn't that be brilliant if you could talk to the players? That would be awesome. That would be great because you would just give Wayne Rooney stick for what on earth has he got on his head?
Hair now.
Where did that come from? He's had a transplant,
Yes, he
has
has.
And then
Bless
had it
him.
shaved off.
Yeah, but
he? Is that cheating?
I think, bless him for going out there and being like, yeah, I've had it done. It made me unhappy. I've got the cash. What?
Anyway, you see, it's the Gamecast. It's not just games.
No,
You're
hardly
right.
at all.
You're right,
in fact.
Verity. It's also Verity's texts.
I told you not last time, the time before. I have
Yes.
my Twitter feed up.
Okay.
I've asked people what they want us to talk about. It's coming in.
So this month, I have mostly been playing Max Payne 3 because it's brilliant.
Still going?
I would go as far to say as it's the best game ever made.
Wow.
It's brilliant. It goes. Apart from it does go on a little bit too long, and I mentioned this on the Facebook page. It goes. You kind of think, I'm nearly at the end now. I'll just play this bit. I'm at the end. Oh, there's another chapter of me running through a building, shooting at people, and bits that I can't get through because I keep getting killed. But every time I get killed, I get a little bit more health and some more bullets until eventually I've got enough health and bullets that I can get through that bit.
Can you finish it already so you can lend it to me, please?
No, I'm stuck on what I think I'm assured is the last bit. Spoiler alert! In an airport with the bad man, who I won't say who he is, but we've met him earlier in the game, firing a rocket launcher at me, and he's really starting to pee me off. It's got to the point where I've done it so many times that I had 8 drug pills to make me better, and like millions of bullets, and I still can't do it. And it's got to be the
I don't know if I
last
can say
bit.
that.
You can say Verity say the soft C word. It's a category C. We can get away with it.
Okay.
So Max Payne 3 is I think wonderful. A little bit too long, and it's rare that I say that, but thoroughly enjoyable.
Have you got into the multiplayer yet?
Yeah, and I'm wicked at the multiplayer. I say wicked. I come about midway, which is good for me. I come midway. Very rarely do I come bottom. Sometimes I've even been in the game and I've been leading it for the first couple of minutes, which is amazing.
That is cool. I always come last at shooters online.
Yeah, totally. Because it's all like American kids who don't, who just smoke weed and bunk off school, and so they just play it all the time in a heightened state of awareness. And I'm just there. I'm there as I'm a dad. I'm a dad playing.
Did you see all the cheaters have been cordoned off? Like people have hacked the game, and so they can become invincible and all stuff like that.
Oh,
but if you've done that, you now only play other people who are cheating.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to play the normal populace, which is a really good idea.
It is. I think the online game that I had great trouble trying to set up an online game with friends. That was the thing I found, and Rockstar kind of their online games that are quite hard to navigate. I think, and we couldn't get a game going with friends. It was just impossible. But I think the multiplayer is wonderful. I think the single player is wonderful. I give it 2 thumbs up. Is that how we rate games on this? I can't remember.
It is now.
I give it 2 thumbs up. Apparently, and I don't think this is a myth, you meet an ex-policeman. You can meet an ex-policeman in the game.
Okay.
but you don't always meet him, and he's supposed to be a figment of your imagination. I don't know if this is true. Facebook.com/MSN Gamecast. Is that true, or is someone pulling my plonker? Verity, what games? And that's all I've been playing.
That's it.
That's it.
How many hours do you reckon you've
Oh, mental, because my
into it?
wife's been away a few days with the kids, so I've been like, I'll get some work done. And I can say that I'm getting work done because I'm talking about it. So I can, all that time I spent playing it, I can
Homework.
write that off. I can invest that
actually true.
tax time in an offshore account and only pay 1% time tax on it. Which is very topical as we record this.
Yes.
Verity, what have you been playing?
I have been out and about all the time, so I haven't had time to play many console games.
Because you're getting married. I'm going to have a husband and kiss him.
Are you going to kiss him?
Possibly.
Wicked.
So I've been playing more mobile games on the go, on the way to work and things like that. So there's a new Temple Run. It's basically Temple Run.
Right.
The original.
I don't know Temple Run.
You know, I never played Temple Run.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I'm sure we did Temple Run before. Maybe you just weren't
I
listening.
don't really pay attention to these sessions, if I'm honest. My mind is thinking of my important jobs I've got to go to.
I think I might have mentioned
we need
it
a little
before.
cutaway scene at that point of what Ian is really thinking about.
So Temple Run, if you haven't played it, Temple Run is free. The original's free. And it's basically a guy running, and you can't stop him running. He's running and he gets faster, and you have to swipe left or right to turn corners, jump over things, slide under things. It's a pretty simple kind of concept, but you've got to collect coins, and as you're going, you get faster, and it gets more difficult to turn corners, and you usually die. You're being chased by monkeys. In the Temple Run Brave, it's a tie-in with Pixar and Disney, which is they've got a movie coming out called Brave. What was the most recent one of that? Oh, Angry Birds Rio did something.
Yeah, they did that one. All sorts of...
Fruit Ninja Puss in Boots.
That's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
That was mine.
I'm still trying to take in the sentence Fruit Ninja Puss in Boots. Is that what that game is called?
Yeah, you know Fruit Ninja. You've played Fruit Ninja, surely.
No.
No!
I don't think
How do you
so.
play that?
What are video games? No, I don't think I played Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja is, again, pretty simple concept.
Imagine you're a ninja and you've got
I
a samurai
do it
sword,
every day, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and someone's chucking watermelons at you
Oh,
constantly.
okay.
And you've got to go, whack, and you have to slice it in half, otherwise it's going to hit you in the face.
Wicked.
You just keep doing that.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Gets a bit
I've played
mental.
Paper Toss.
That's rubbish.
Oh, shut up, man. What are you talking about? That's an awesome game. Because it depends how strong the fan is.
That is like one of the first games I ever downloaded for iPhone about 4 years, no, not 4 years ago, but years ago.
It's a good
It's
game, isn't it?
rubbish.
It's a
I'm
good
not sure
game.
if you know, but
It's a good
iPhone
game.
games have got a bit better since then.
Nothing can beat Paper Toss.
No. Well, I think you should download. Have you got an iPhone?
Yeah, I cracked the screen.
Oh,
By
no.
sitting on it. I put it in my...
What did you... Oh, you have it in your pocket and
I
you
had it in my
sat
pocket. I sat in it like I do all the time. I took it out and went, what? When did that happen?
on
It's
your
got-
sofa or something, or did you sit on a hard...
It was on the kitchen chair, but it shouldn't make any difference.
Well, sofa's soft and hard... No, Temple Run Brave is
That's
where
it.
I started. and
Okay.
I did go off on a
Yes.
tangent. But it's if you like Temple Run,
I've had too much coffee today. Yeah.
or if you haven't tried Temple Run, you should give it a go. It's basically the same concept, except it's brought in archery.
Okay. Oh, good.
So you've got like targets to hit with your bow
Yes.
and arrow, and that gets you more coins and bonuses and things like that.
Yep.
It's surprisingly addictive, Temple Run. You
Mm-hmm.
think I saw somebody before I ever got it. I saw somebody playing it over the shoulder in the train, and I was like, "Oh, that's rubbish." Until I played it, and I was like, "This is pretty addictive, actually." So
Topic for the Facebookers, and there are so many of you, and you really are very active on that Facebook page. Thank you. Facebook.com. I don't think they'll have picked up the sarcasm in that tone, will they?
No.
Facebook.com.
480.
Yep, all sitting there silently, not saying a word. Facebook.com/MSN Gamecast. Games that look rubbish, but are brilliant.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
That'll spark a furious debate.
Second mobile game I've been playing is
Yes.
Pocket Planes. So it's from the same developers as Tiny Tower.
Yes.
So these guys like small things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tiny Tower, Pocket Planes. Nick was playing Tiny Tower the other day for the first time.
I was. It's been out for ages.
Yeah.
But it's quite cool, actually. Quite addicted.
Pocket Planes is basically like you're running an airport, which it. Right, bear with me. And you get planes. It's like a. You two are
I'm going to sit back
mental
and
this
keep quiet
month.
for a minute.
Oh, I'm
Well,
going to drown in my own
he's on
words.
the cola, I'm on the coffee.
You get given. You start up your own airport. Well, you've got a couple of airports actually when you first begin, and you've given like 4 planes, and there's different planes can take different numbers of passengers and cargo to different areas. You get different money, and it's like a sim. It's like a sim city type thing. You've got to build your empire. You make money from taking people places. Build more airports and buy more planes. You can even make planes.
See, that genuinely sounds awesome. I like those kind of games. Can you transport illegal things to make extra money?
No, I haven't got to that bit.
Because that would be.
You just want it to be elite.
I do. That's kind of what I was getting at. Where you can transport narcotics and slaves. I don't agree with those things in real life, but in the virtual world, they're fine.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
On the whole, it's like wardrobes and hamsters.
You could fit a lot of drugs in a wardrobe. Trust me.
And hamsters as well, actually.
And hamsters, yeah.
So, any good?
Yeah, I've not. I was saying to Nick, I'm quite in the early stages.
No.
I think it's going to get a bit more, because you obviously got to think about your costs, and your weather can get you trapped in an airport, and then you've got 2 planes that are out of use, and you're losing money.
Yep.
So
Sounds stressful.
it's oh god, so stressful. And the worst thing about it is it sends you. So you send off all your planes to different airports, and it takes different amounts of time to get, depending on where you're sending them to, and that's in real time. So
sorry,
not in real time. Wait, in real pocket planes time.
Well, you said you said in real time, so that means it's going to take you
But
9 hours to go to LA or wherever the States.
No, I mean it will say like it might take you 10 minutes to get from Cancun to Guatemala or something. So it says it's going to take you 10 minutes. It will take you 10 minutes. So you can either watch it or you can just leave it, and you just keep getting like push notifications every time a plane's landed.
Right.
There's new jobs. There's new people want to be taken places. So you are literally constantly attached to your phone, which makes it slightly not good for when you're at work. You might want to turn your for life. Yeah,
life.
Yeah, but it's if you like kind of sim city-esque tiny tower, if you like tiny towers,
and you have no friends, no job,
yeah,
then this is the game.
Yeah,
for you to get involved with,
basically.
Nick, all right, we found a gap in Verity talking there to move on. What have you been playing this month? Or are you going to come up with some bullshine excuse about how you've not had a chance to play games?
I've been playing games.
I've been playing games just on the phone.
Hey, whoa, you weren't supposed to hear that.
Right,
I've been playing Steel Battalion Heavy Armour. Do you remember Steel Battalion?
I do remember Steel Battalion with the full,
and it had the most ridiculous controller in the
You had a
world.
button for
Huge,
wiping
wasn't
the
it?
windows.
Yeah, 40 or 50 different buttons and
pedals.
Took up your whole living room. This new one's on Kinect, so they've gone from enormous controller to no controller at
I
all.
remember when they announced this at E3 and everybody was like, this is mental. How is this possible?
Why is this possible?
Why is this possible?
Except
Tell
it's
us.
not.
Yeah.
Turns out not possible, because you do actually still use the controller after all. It's a Kinect game that you also use the controller, which is slightly unusual. It was also the first Kinect game that I've played where you sit down most of the time anyway. And
suddenly I'm interested again, because I don't like about Kinect. You've got to stand
Too
up.
much standing
Yeah.
When I
around.
found out that my Kinect, I couldn't do it by lying on the sofa and wave my arm like that, I disconnected it and thought it's never going to get used ever again.
well, it's much more couch potato friendly.
Good.
Because you can sit back to an extent anyway, and and just play it from a prone position. The idea of Steel Battalion, you're in these big tanks, Veets they call them, vertical tanks. So they've got 2 legs that look like. Do you remember Ed 209 in RoboCop? There's some bonkers plot about it's the end of the 21st century and all the microchips have been eaten, so all the technology's gone, apart from these walking tank things. And you play the whole game sat in the cabin of this tank with your 3 other buddies who are also helping you fire stuff and everything like that. And the point of the game is that you use the controller that does still exist despite everything to steer the thing and to shoot. But you do everything in the cabin just with your hands, like reaching into space with Kinect.
What other things are there to do, then?
Well, say you might want to, in order to shoot, you have to get right to the front of the cabin and peer through this tiny window that there is there. God. So you sort of you lean your hands forward to pull yourself forward like that. To your left, there's a monitor. You pull that towards you, and you're looking at stuff on there. You've got a periscope.
So basically, what you're doing is you're pulling in front of the TV.
Yeah, you're reaching and trying to grasp
and
stuff.
and that's it.
every now and again, one of your teammates will go a bit nuts and try to escape out of the
You
top.
got
You have
swept
to
them.
like grab him by the leg and
Really?
pull him back in, and there's all sorts of stuff like that going on. But it doesn't quite work.
Right.
This is the trouble, because it's also very proudly extremely difficult.
Yep. Well, the previous Steel Battalions was impossible to play.
Yeah.
Just impossible.
And it's deliberately has a really high difficulty level. There's no way at the start to choose, I just want to play on easy. You just play on rock hard right from the outset. So it's really, really hard. You're getting shot by missiles and all sorts right from the outset, and you're flailing around in this cabin thinking, oh my God, I've got to change weapon. And then you start closing the shutter instead, or you're pulling the periscope down, or you suddenly turn around and you find yourself facing in completely the wrong direction. It's just not accurate enough. And that's the trouble with having that control system, because you could have done it all just on the controller, and it looks like it would be an awesome game.
Yeah.
But the Kinect stuff is just not integrated.
I think we have
properly.
to, I would say well done for trying to do something with Kinect
Definitely,
that is a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
different and isn't just some rubbish dancing nonsense. But maybe you're saying this is perhaps not necessarily the way to go. They've not quite got it right.
This is it. I mean, it's a proper hardcore game, which everyone
Yeah.
want. Hardcore gamers, they want that from Kinect. They want a reason to get involved with it. But it's almost like it's trying to do too much. Because Kinect doesn't have that kind of accuracy. And like I said at the start, you can sit down, but it turns out you can't really sit down on your sofa. I was trying to do that and I had real trouble reading these. So I had to get a dining room chair and sit
My
properly
sofas are
upright
side
like
on.
that.
Their sofas are here at the side, and then the TV's there, so I would have to.
You've got to be directly facing it for it to have any sort of pick-up on you. But there are some nice touches. Like, for instance, there's a porthole in the top of the turret, in the top of the tank that you can peer out of. So when you stand up, when you physically stand up, suddenly you find yourself peering out of the top. And if you bring your hand up to your eye, that uses your binoculars. And that's quite cool. It feels all quite natural. That's like a natural use of Kinect, I think.
I'm trying not to knock it because I want Kinect to evolve, and I don't want it to kind of, in 6 months' time go, oh, do you remember Kinect? That was rubbish, wasn't it? I want it to evolve and for game makers to do something different. So yes, that does sound like it has potential.
It's got some
and they're going in the right
ideas
direction.
in it.
Yeah,
It's got some really good ideas in it, but it's just. Kinect can't do those real micro movements at the moment. It's great for dancing games and for petting animals and things like that, but it can't do, right, I'm just reaching around a cabin and this is the tiny thing I want to grab hold of. Not constantly anyway. It works some of the time, perhaps even most of the time, but it doesn't work often enough that it's really jarring and it's really distracting, and you'll just end up dying all the time. So, yeah,
Okay.
It's nice try, but no cigar.
E3 is the big thing that has happened since we last spoke. It was on Microsoft Live. It was live. It was being streamed live. And I
Yes,
was
that's
following
right, yeah.
various people on Twitter. Not you, Verity. I don't follow you anymore. I don't really use Twitter anymore. Have you noticed?
I have noticed, yeah.
I don't really use it. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. The freedom I have from not really going on Twitter. Fantastic.
You don't miss it at all?
No, I tweet the odd thing. I tweet if I'm doing something. I'll tweet when this goes out. And I tweeted a couple of things, but just it's wonderful, Nick. I'm talking to my wife again. I might be able to save this. No, okay, one of the things I heard, FIFA 13 was shown. You can talk to it. Is that true, or is that internet bullshine?
That's news to me.
Yeah, news to me as well.
I must admit, I was on holiday during E3. I'm
don't
playing
care
catch
anymore.
up.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, but I have heard that it's very good because my friend, I didn't obviously get because I wasn't over there, but a friend of mine who was over there did get a first look at it and said it was excellent. So
What were the big revelations then at E3 this year? What did they give us? There were no new consoles.
no new consoles, no.
I'm going to ask a question. You probably don't know the answer. I don't. Did we see anything of Wii U at E3?
Yes.
Okay. What did we see?
Well, we saw the Wii U in its final form.
Right.
And
And everyone breathed a huge sigh of not that botheredness.
so the reception to it at the moment still seems to be one of slight befuddlement, I would suggest. There were quite a few games shown off for it. We've got a roundup on the game site of the 10 best of them. So there's lots of games lined up, but
That's the MSN game site. If people want
that's
to go and
right,
look
yeah,
at it.
on
Okay,
MSN Games, yeah. Yeah, there's doesn't seem to be anything that's really grabbing the real, or just getting a real edge of excitement about it.
Zombie U was probably the biggest game,
Yeah.
the biggest talked about game. And I really hope they don't just put U in front of every.
I was about to
at
say, is
the
that
end
what they're
of
going to
every
do?
Zombie U, Mario U. Hope not.
But they already do that with 3DS games, don't
Yeah.
they? Everything is like 3DS.
3D, yeah.
I know what format it's for.
But there was also a bit of confusion in that because it was pretty gory, I think, and it's kind of with the Wii being a family.
I don't think that does that apply anymore.
I don't know, because they brought Resident Evil, didn't they, over to the Wii? So maybe
I think maybe that's kind of gone now. I would have
What's
assumed
the
it's
trouble
gone.
with
It was
the Wii
pretty-
U, though? I don't really get who it's for.
No.
Because it's. I mean, they're obviously trying to make it for everyone, but it risks not really targeting anyone in particular.
It's like one, and is it still the fact that only one person can have a Wii U,
Yeah.
and the rest
Amazon
of the people.
UK reckons it's going to be £199.
Yeah.
What's it in the States? I'm guessing $199.
Well, they
isn't
haven't
it?
Probably.
announced the price at all.
Right.
But Amazon UK have actually taken that price down now. But
Okay.
briefly, they had it up on their pre-order page
Yeah.
as being $199.
That's expensive.
You think?
For a
You think
new
it's expensive?
console?
I think that
that's
would
all
be
right.
remarkably cheap, actually.
Really?
Yeah, for a brand new console. Definitely.
maybe.
I mean, if you're talking a handheld, then maybe not. But
Yeah.
for a home console, especially one that's coming with a touchscreen controller,
True.
I think
Also,
$199 would be
okay.
pretty
I
competitive.
wasn't really. I thought that was just for the controller.
Oh, no.
That's for the
If it was
package.
just for the controller.
Yeah, sorry.
No, this was the price they had up for the console. But, where they've fished that number from, who knows? I don't know. What do you think? $199?
I think that sounds all right for a new console.
Yeah.
It will be $199 though. They just swapped the currency.
They do.
Skyrim. What was the announcement about that? The download content.
DLC, yeah. You can be a vampire lord.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what we want. This sounds
Exactly.
fantastic.
And it's not just being a vampire with slightly pointy teeth.
Yeah.
You're properly evil. You turn into this kind of skeletal beast.
Wicked.
With big bony wings coming out the back and everything like that.
Wowzers.
So you can be a vampire lord, or you can choose to play the other side. And then you're just more of a regular human-type character.
Forget that.
Playing for the Dawn Guard.
Oh, Dawn
and
Guard, jeez.
fighting the vampires instead. But the coolest thing about that is you get a crossbow.
Oh.
A crossbow in Skyrim, I think, sounds essential.
It does
so I'm
sound-
quite tempted to go that side.
I'll be a vampire
actually.
lord.
All right,
You can come and try and kick my ass.
you're on.
Don't think you'll be able to
gonna
because
take
there's
you
not
down.
multiplayer content. Is there?
That's
There's not.
true.
Is there? Game of the show. What do you think? The game of the show. What was the one thing that's left everybody salivating and going? Ooh, yes, please. Anything?
Yeah, it's beyond Two Souls. I think that was the
Yeah.
one that everyone was really
Tell me
talking
about it, please.
Well, I'll tell you the bit that you won't like about it. It's by the same people. It's by the same people that made Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It looks brilliant.
It looks awesome.
When will they? I'm not going to diss a game that I've not seen. What's the premise? What happens?
You play this female character who is somehow possessed in a way, or she's got some sort of aura around her, and you can also control that. So basically, she's capable of telekinesis
Right.
and that sort of palaver.
Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks to be a lot more heavily action focused than Quantic Dreams games have been
Yep.
before. So the trailer that they showed was lots
Quite,
of
like,
big fights with SWAT teams and
Yeah.
helicopters slamming down into the tarmac and all
Explosions.
that
Oh
sort
yeah.
of
Now
thing.
now
Yeah.
you're talking.
And
yeah,
Ellen
it looks
Page.
cheeky.
You know Ellen Page? She was
go to
the
school
girl.
with
She was the girl that did Juno, and she was in what's that one? Crazy one about dreams with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
Oh,
Inception.
Inception.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's in that. She
yeah.
does the voice of the main
Oh.
character. And
in.
the trailer looks excellent.
Yep.
I think I put it on the MSN Game Podcast
Okay. We'll put
page.
it on the Facebook page. If,
But if
you
I
can have a look
didn't,
at it.
otherwise I can bring it back up to the top. But it looks really, really good.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
They showed a bit more of The
Yeah.
Last of Us as well, didn't they?
They did, yeah. But no, just sorry, one
Oh,
more
sorry,
thing
yeah.
on that. On Beyond, it seems like there's different ways to approach it as well. So you can be really all out action and gung ho and everything, or you can use these abilities to be more sneaky. So, for instance, you might decide to pull an aircraft out of the air or throw a car at someone, or you might decide just to make something topple over so you can sneak around the back.
Pull an aircraft out of the air, of course. Forget making things topple off of a table. I want an aircraft to come down.
Exactly. So then it's going to appeal to whatever type of game.
Do we have a date for that next year?
No set date on that for the moment.
Anything else from E3 that we should mention? Probably loads, but
as Verity said, The Last of Us had a
of
really
Us.
cool trailer as well, which
Also
is
an excellent trailer. And I actually haven't seen the trailer yet, but I heard a lot of talk about Watch Dogs, which was a game that wasn't...
the Anne Robinson programme.
Watch Dogs.
Okay.
Which was a game that wasn't really expected at E3 and was kind of like, I think, the surprise of E3. So...
Let's get those trails and let's put those on the Facebook page, facebook.com/MSN Gamecast. And talk about female characters. There's been a furore this week I think it's probably the Daily Mail or the Express about the rape scene in Lara Croft. Which when I read the description,
doesn't even exist.
Well, I read the description and I thought, you've
Daily
described
Mail.
something that's not a rape. You've described, not to make light of that at all, it's a terrible thing, but you've described a woman who's basically, they made it sound like you get beaten up a bit and you get thrown in like a pen and she's cowering.
Yeah.
From her captors, and that's it. That was all they described. They didn't seem to describe any sexual.
And something that
aggression.
I've read since is also that apparently it doesn't exist anywhere.
Oh, that
Apparently
bit doesn't even exist.
Apparently, this could all be maybe being swept under the carpet or being swiftly changed after the reaction. I don't know, but I read a report that somebody who isn't supposed to speak to the press mentioned this scene, and it doesn't really exist. But basically, it was something along the lines of it is supposed to help you feel for her and want to fight for her and be in her corner. And I think the way it was, the way it was described by this person is basically she needs to go through all these terrible things. Yeah. And it, as far as I'm aware, again, it doesn't matter either way, but apparently it's an attempted rape, not an actual. Doesn't actually happen. But she goes through like getting beaten up and attempted rape and all this thing to make you want to fight for her. And I think there was a bit of a...
What a surprise, a newspaper sort of not getting the facts right about a gaming story. Isn't that incredible? How would they do that? I'd be surprised if it was an attempted rape as well, though, to be honest. That would surprise... It would surprise me.
It seems a bit heavy for Tomb Raider, really. But then again, why shouldn't games have more heavy material?
Yeah,
It's not like no one's talking about this being an actual playable section. It was a cutscene. But that sort of thing crops up in TV programs, films all the time.
But the way I saw it reported was almost like you could watch this attempted rape or this rape scene.
Yes, it was there for voyeuristic.
And it's like that. No, it doesn't exist.
No.
I'm saying it was the Mail or Express. Apologies if I got it wrong. I'm pretty sure it was one of those
too,
because they're the ones that tend. Well, didn't the Star make up a story? Was it the Star that made up the story about
do that?
There was a Grand Theft Auto that was based on Raoul Moat, the guy that killed the cop, and it was coming out, and it was just completely made up. Again, apologies if it's not the Star, but it was just completely made up, just complete nonsense. No one had checked anything, and they had to do an apology the next day saying,
"Oh God,
we made that up."
That would be very tasteless.
Well, exactly. Okay. Well, that's the internet, of course, has been ablaze with. All these reactionaries saying this just proves that video games should be banned and they're shocking and they're filth. I go on Sky News quite once a week to sort of review the papers. And whenever a gaming story comes up...
I saw you.
Did you?
I was on the treadmill at the gym.
I have to get up at
with Eamon.
4:15 for that.
Oh.
I know, it hurts.
Tuesday morning?
Tuesday morning, yeah, it would have been. And I was pretending to know what I was talking about.
I think you were doing very well.
I was making it all up.
You're totally like... I lost about at least 5 minutes of my awful 5K in the morning, so it helped me.
Listen, if you want, I can come and talk to you about boring newspaper stories.
That would help.
In real life.
Okay.
But I quite often have to go on there, and there'll be a gaming story, and I will defend gaming, and you'll get this, well, they should be banned. And I'm going to go, no, this is art. This is an art form. And the argument that people always use about gaming, kids should get out more and... gaming, it's antisocial. There's nothing more antisocial than a child sitting there reading a book. Sitting there reading a book. And they don't complain about that, saying, books, they're so antisocial. Yeah. In games, you're generally talking to other people, you're interacting, you're thinking, you're creating, you're changing your reactions. You're doing all of these things. With a book, you're sat there, getting fat and going bonkers, reading violent stories that will turn you into a killer.
It's very true. It's just because people don't understand games.
Of course they don't.
They will use it to anything to beat games.
Another 30 years will be there, but it's going to take that long. Right, sorry. What else have we got?
Well, moving kind of
Go on.
kind of going on from that, Warren Spector says
Oh, yes.
games are obsessed with ultra-violence.
Now, who's Warren Spector?
Warren Spector
he's
is the
from-
developer behind Deus Ex.
Okay.
And more recently, Epic Mickey.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
which is an ultra-violent game.
Yes, yeah,
Sex.
indeed. So yeah, he was quoted following E3 by saying that he was upset because most of the games that he saw at E3 were just using shock factor of serious violence.
Well, yeah. I don't know. But this isn't. It was pretty violent. The trailer for Far Cry 3 was mega violent, but also started off rather rudely.
Ooh.
Looked like, well, some naughty things were going on at the beginning.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Wowzers.
Yeah, you obviously first player kind of
Yeah.
viewpoint, and
Ouch.
some woman on top of you.
Fantastic.
And then there's, after that, then you end up like stabbing somebody in the chest.
Yeah,
and it's
that's what I like to do.
Great.
I don't.
It's like it goes from sex, violence, a bit more sex, and then loads more violence. And it was pretty. I saw a write up in the Guardian of it actually, and it was by somebody who freelances for us, who's actually a game, who enjoys his games, but even he said was pretty full on.
Well, it's what would be interesting to do now, and if we had. Any of us had done any preparation for this, then this is what we would be referring to now. It would be interesting to have a list of the top 10 video games and the top 10 movies and see if... Because films are violent.
Well,
A lot of the successful films are really, really violent. And it'd be interesting to see if the same number of... if both those top 10s in their respective art forms have the same percentage of violent movies compared with non-violent movies.
Yeah.
We can't do that research for you and give you those facts because we do not have that data, but it's certainly something to think about.
Yep.
I like it. I
So
like it.
lazy. So you have a think about that at home, and you
Maybe you could have a look it up on the internet or something.
And let us
and
know.
tell us.
Thanks very much.
Tell us what you found out. But there is, games are violent, films are violent, but there are loads of games that aren't violent and loads of films that aren't violent. It's just the violent ones make the most noise, literally and metaphorically.
They
There
are
was-
the ones that really get shown off.
Yeah.
And I do take his point to an extent because I think it's becoming more and more the focus of these big trailers.
Yep.
For the really high profile games is that how over the top can you make the kill
Yep.
scenes,
Yeah.
and how slow motion can we make this head explode and that sort of thing. And then
Imagine having a meeting. Now, how slow motion can we make this head explode? Yeah? Can we slow it down? Okay, let's go for it, guys.
I bet you there's a meeting just like that happening in a game studio right now.
Oh, he's so sweet, isn't he?
But I think it detracts from some of the invention that could be going into
Yep.
games elsewhere. And Warren Spector is definitely someone that knows about
Yep.
being inventive in games. And if we could move away just from having this slightly childish obsession with blood spurts and violence and make games a bit more playable,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
then why
But
not?
it's an evolution, isn't it? And it will get there. We'll have the next 2, 3, 5 years. It'll be really violent because that's what's selling and that's the big thing. But then slowly, it'll take people like him to slowly kind of go, well, hang on, over here we can do this, and it will kind of veer that way. Like films in the 70s, the late 70s was full of slasher films like Driller Killer and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and all of these violent films. And then they kind of veered towards in the 80s Talking Ducks and Robots. Seemed to be
Excellent. We're definitely on the way up then.
We're on the way up.
I look
Should be
forward to
talking
that.
duck games. What else have we got? Oh, now what's this? What's this nonsense that Molyneux's come out with now?
Oh, he's good fun, isn't he?
You sent me this.
Isn't
I
he
hadn't
good
heard any
value?
of this. I was
Yeah.
talking about Peter Molyneux to someone the other day in a vaguely affectionate way. So I was excited when you sent me this
Yeah.
thing.
He's a good man. Gaming needs people like
course it
Peter
does.
Molyneux. He's recently left Microsoft in the studio that he had here, and he's started up his own thing, 22 Cans. So Peter Molyneux's first game from 22 Cans is coming out in about 6 weeks. It's called Curiosity, and it involves a big black cube and a piece of downloadable content that costs £50,000.
What?
And this is absolutely true. This is how the game is going to be. Apparently, this is coming out on PC and on mobile. And apparently, you go into it, and there's this enormous black cube, and you can go up to it, and you can touch it or whatever, and look at it. And you have a little chisel in your hand, and you can tap it with a little chisel, and you see a tiny crack appear on it.
Yeah.
But it's a completely multiplayer game, so everybody else is coming in and tapping this cube
Okay.
with their chisel as well. And eventually, one person's tap will shatter the whole thing and it'll open, and there'll be an amazing surprise in there that only they will be able to see. But you can boost your chances of being able to properly damage this cube by buying a better
It'll be
chisel.
Milo or Milo, whatever it was, that annoying kid going, suckers! You suckers!
I'm not coming, really. But yeah, you can make a bigger dent in it with a more expensive chisel that you can buy as downloadable content. So you can get one made of iron for 59p, or you can go for the Uber chisel and get one made of diamond for £50,000. And if you get that, you've obviously got a far better chance of actually shattering this cube. And I'd imagine you'd be quite upset if you didn't shatter.
So if you're the one that shatters the cube, you win a prize.
Yeah, well, he doesn't call it a prize. He just says it's something amazing, something mind-blowing.
You'd expect like a flat or a really posh car if you're spending 50 grand on it.
Yeah, well, exactly. He's not giving any clues as to what might be in there.
Well, then he can...
And he says
Get
that
lost.
no one else will know, only the person that does it. And he's interested to see whether they'll tell anyone or whether they'll keep it secret.
Fascinating. It does genuinely sound fascinating.
Yeah,
That's bonkers.
and bonkers.
Yeah, insane. When's
Yeah.
that coming out?
It's coming out in 6 weeks on PC and on mobile. And
If you just did
apparently
the
he's
cheap
doing
one and-
another 21 experiments like this over the next couple of years, and it's all really extended research for his next full
So,
game.
is this? No, I do love Peter Molyneux. I think he's wonderful, and I take everything he says with a huge bag of salt.
Yeah.
But he's great, and he has done some amazing games. Is this a man that's run out of ideas, though? Really? Or is this genius?
I think he's definitely got
there's something-
ideas.
Yeah.
You know, no one else is making a game with a big cube and silly hammers, are they? But
But if you just like took 2 weeks off work, I'm not saying you should do this. If you took 2 weeks off work and just continually chiselled, you could save yourself 50 grand. Because surely 2 weeks non-stop chiselling, you got to get through it.
yeah, but will you be the one to do the last tap? Because everyone's working on the same
You
cube.
could take
you see.
2 weeks out and
If
then
you were just going tap, tap, tap.
tap,
Whereas
tap,
if
tap,
you've
tap,
got
tap,
the
tap, tap.
diamond one, which does about 50,000 taps in one, you're more likely to just do a sledgehammer, blow to it,
True.
and crack it in one go.
Do you reckon it's one? Yeah, I'd hope so.
There's only one diamond one, yeah.
But then I hope.
But
like,
who's
if
going to
you-
buy that? No one's going to buy that.
That's the.
Well,
he
someone
says
might.
it's an
Someone like
experiment.
Well Rich.
Who though?
Like just ruin it all as soon as it launches. Just buy it and finish it.
Facebook.com/MSN
What do you
Gamecast.
think's
What's
inside
inside?
the cube?
Yeah,
Outside
what's
the cube?
inside? And is this
Inside the
genius or is it nonsense?
And will you buy the diamond hammer? Do you have 50 grand spent? Probably not.
Oh.
Is there anything else between 59p and 50 grand?
Yeah, there is.
Oh,
there's,
right.
there's lots. Yeah, yeah. I won't list them all, but yeah, you can.
And is
you know,
the game's free?
grade up.
Is it? I would assume.
That I don't know. I guess so.
Okay.
Given
It
it's
must
on
be.
mobile, it can't be much.
Okay, a few more things to rattle through before we go to the Facebook page. Dinosaur mode in Battlefield 3.
That sounds
Is that
awesome.
happening?
Well, it possibly if enough people say they want it.
Bless
It's
you.
it's
Verity. what a butch sneeze you've got.
it's a mode that people have wanted since Battlefield 3 was being developed, but it got a big boost around E3 time. There was a few of the developers were on Twitter saying, "Oh, all right, we've heard you want dinosaurs. Start using this hashtag, and if enough people do it, then we'll put dinosaurs in the
That's
game."
pretty
But I was
useful.
thinking that's a pretty, that's a
awesome.
good special mode because we've all had enough zombies now.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, I think the zombie.
A few
moment is gone.
velociraptors running around in Battlefield, that would be pretty awesome.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Draw something. The mobile gaming device phenomenon where you draw something. Isn't there a new one called
I
Sing
deleted
Something
it.
now?
I deleted it. I got so bored.
It's boring, isn't it? The novelty wears
Yeah.
off. Great idea.
Massively.
Novelty wears off. There's one called Sing Something, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
What do you
It's
do in
right
that?
at the top of the charts. It is at the top of the charts. I
You
haven't
sing
looked at it
something.
though.
Well, you
Okay.
sing,
Sing,
you,
and then-
you sing something, yeah.
And then send it to somebody,
Yeah.
and they have to what?
Guess
Guess it.
it.
Guess the song.
Draw something is becoming
Surely
a
that's
TV
pretty
show.
easy.
Depends how good you are at singing.
It's becoming a TV show. Draw something.
Yeah,
Isn't that
sorry.
I'm here. Hello. Good evening.
I'm going to get this app up. while you
Wasn't that Win, Lose or Draw? Do you remember Win, Lose or Draw? Hosted by Shane Ritchie, but before that by Danny Baker.
Yeah, I do.
Brilliant.
Weekday mornings, 9:25. Fantastic.
We've done this many times before, haven't we? Like drawing games on TV.
Yep,
but I guess TV is jumping on a slightly past their app to sell a new show.
Listen to us like a month ago. We were like saying it's the greatest thing in the world. Everyone. That's like, remember that draw song? It's rubbish. It's a great game, but its novelty wears quicker than a lot of the other games. I think
It certainly does.
Song Pop.
Hello.
Song Pop is the thing. I think I just got it up on my phone. Oh no, I can't talk to you now. That was my phone ringing. Sorry.
Sorry.
Are you ready to rock? Listen to song clips to test your music recognition.
No,
that's not it. That's Song Pop. We're talking about Sing Something. Search for Sing Something. You're listening to MSN Gamecast while Verity looks through her phone.
I'm looking in the top.
No. Type in Sing Something.
No, it's not called Sing Something, is it?
I don't know. Type in and see what happens.
It's called Sing Something.
I believe so,
For
yeah.
real?
Yeah.
It's like talking to my wife. Just do what I say. I'm probably right.
Sing something. We can edit this bit out.
Yeah. No, keep this. This is actually
Probably
genuinely
for
the
the
best bit
best.
of the show. We've been going
Sing
for an hour and 20 minutes.
something.
Oh, is it there?
It's not in the top 25 though. It must be rubbish. Sing Something the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
For that is what we are talking about.
The rules are simple. You sing one of song. Good English. You sing one of song from selected category. Your friend guess what song it is. You both get coins for the correct answer. Change, turn, and repeat.
That's the one.
That's easy because people will recognise the song by the song that
that's-
you're singing.
Well, that's what I'm
I think the
saying.
idea is that you might not necessarily know the song. You might have to wing it a bit.
But okay, supposing a song title comes up, right, that
And
you
you
don't
just
know, you sing
sing the
the title. The song is called Tragedy.
You could do that, but that's cheating.
Well, but I used to cheat
Did
on
you
draw
used to
something.
cheat?
I'd write what it was.
Oh,
If I wasn't drawing
no.
penises, I'd
You're those
My
people.
little
You're
brother
those
does
people
that.
I would delete immediately.
really.
Try harder. That's not what the game's about.
Well, but you know, I would have just drawn rude pictures for you. You wouldn't have deleted me for that. Okay, what other games should become TV programs? Do you remember there was a program? I think it was hosted by Craig Charles. It was when virtual reality was going to be the next big thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so you had to. It was like you were like in a sort of platform game.
Yeah.
And you had to run and jump and stuff, and it was
ring a bell.
rubbish.
Sounds a bit like Nightmare.
Nightmare.
Nightmare was awesome.
Now
though.
that was awesome.
Nightmare was wonderful.
I was genuinely well scared of that. Like, though.
Is that your phone?
Yeah.
Where am I now? You're in a room, there's a table, and there's some gold on it. Shuffle forward 3 steps. Turn right. Forward. No! Ah! Aha! He has fallen off. He has fallen off the edge of the cliff. And you brave adventurers. Let's go. Goodbye.
I so wanted to be on Nightmare.
Yeah, it's wicked, isn't it?
But I was
really
quite
did.
scared of it at the same time.
If you were on Nightmare, facebook.com/MSN Gamecast.
If you don't know what it is, YouTube it immediately.
YouTube it. I'm on YouTube talking about it somewhere. The Humble Bundle.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to flag this up. It's really cool. It's we haven't mentioned it before on Gamecast, but it's this indie collection of games.
Yep.
And they've just finished doing the 5th one. And what they do is they get a bunch of games together and they make them available for download with no copyright protection attached to them or any of that rubbish. And you choose what you want to pay. Excuse me. And so
yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah.
the most recent one, it had games like had Limbo in it, Psychonauts, Braid, Super Meat Boy, all those sort of games.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good games, all
good collection
brilliant.
of games. And if you want, you can go on there and get them for 1 pence.
Yeah.
But the idea is
Come
that
on, guys.
if you pay above the average, then you get more of the games. There's a certain amount that you get, but if you pay above the average amount, then you'll get a few more interesting ones on top.
Yeah.
And what you also get to do at the stage that you pay is you decide how much of the money goes to the developers and how much goes to charity.
Now, isn't that interesting? That's a good little little
Wowzers.
twist on that. I would spend.
really neat.
I couldn't do it though. I would be worrying too much. I would spend hours going,
Yeah.
"Oh, no, maybe no, that's too little." But if I give 60% to the charity, oh no, God, and I would bottle out of buying it.
Yeah.
I'm a warrior.
Well,
Yeah, I think
bite-
I would.
bite the
I
bullet.
just would
get
you go
stuff.
50-50 or what would you do?
No, you
No.
would go 50-50, 60-40 in favour of the charity.
Yeah, I was
That
thinking.
feels
What is?
about right.
Well, hang on. What
That
is the
feels about
charity?
Well, there's 2 charities. One of which is Electronic Frontier Foundation.
Yeah.
Which is it's actually a not-for-profit organisation.
Yeah.
And it's designed for digital rights and stuff that's probably
Sorry?
quite worthy, but sounds a bit dull to me. The other one is called Child's Play. And that's
yeah.
all about putting consoles in hospital rooms
Yes,
for kids to
cool.
play.
In that case, I'd give it all to the developers. I'm joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. I would stick
Charles
with
plays a great charity.
I would stick with 60-40, definitely.
Yeah.
That sounds brilliant. And do we have any? Has that started now? Has it? That's up and running and
Yeah.
it's going?
Like I say, they've just finished the 5th one.
Right.
So there isn't one running at the moment as we speak.
Was that the 5th one that you just talked about?
Yeah.
Because that sounded good.
It'd be interesting to know
Damn
what
it.
the percentage is overall. How
Yeah.
people split it.
Well, they break the stats down really well, and the last one, this 5th one, raised over $5 million.
What?
They had nearly 600,000 downloads.
That's
So,
mental.
Yeah, it does really, really well.
Oh, in that case, I'd get it for a penny then. They've made their money. Come on. I'm joking.
So yeah,
Goodness
check it out. Put in a search engine. Put a Humble Bundle, and that'll take you to their website. And you can sign up for emails so you know
Brilliant.
when the next one's coming.
Excellent stuff. Every now and then, gaming kind of does do a little charity burst, and there should be more of it. I don't. Maybe we'll discuss that in the next one. I think because there's something in there. Gaming does it occasionally, but perhaps there's a way we can do something more. Anyway, right, facebook.com/MSN Gamecast. We go on there and post bits and pieces and silly photos and things to talk about, and we argue with you. And you can go and start your own topics. Oh, I finally sent Dragon's Dogma to Will. Will won.
Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem. I'd lost Duke Nukem. I chucked it away. So I sent him Dragon's Dogma. Then I found Duke Nukem, so I've still got it. Anyway, I said...
Another competition in.
I said, I will send you Dragon's Dogma. You've got to review it for us. And he's done a little review. On the Facebook page. This game is very good. It's a little bit like Monster Hunter, but instead of you seeing an epic painted background in the distance, that epic landscape is fully rendered and you're in it. It does look incredible. This week I killed a few wolves, but left it a bit late before eating the meat for health, and my character got a tummy ache. : 0 open bracket. Oh look, that's a face! You can grab and or climb up enemies. To find out what else Will says, go to the Facebook page and have a look. Thank you, Will. I'm glad you enjoyed that, and thank you for your review. And if you want to see the video of Nick and I training for the Dragon's Dogma, again, go to the Facebook page or go to the MSN game
Absolutely,
page. What's
yeah.
the link for that?
Go see it. Yeah, games.uk.msn.com.
You're leaving. I heard someone on the radio the other day.
We haven't announced that.
Oh, have we not announced that? Was that well? Maybe. Well, you're.
So announce it.
You're leaving.
I am.
Shame on you.
I'm afraid so.
What is this?
The
Why?
rumours are true. I've found a new job in a slightly different line of work.
He's the trolley boy at the local supermarket. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a step up for me.
No, it's like Soylent Green. Is it Soylent Green where they eat people? You've got too old and you're now going to become the green sludge that we all eat.
So you've got Logan's Run.
Logan's Run. You've got a proper job.
Yeah, it appears so. Yeah,
Good for you.
Where I don't get to sit around chatting about not talking about games.
So is this the last one, or are we going to get one more in with you?
We're going to get one more.
I feel we should have like a leaving.
Definitely, let's have a
Yeah.
party.
Kind of do.
We have one with those things that you blow that go and party hats and things. What are they called?
It's not streamers.
No.
They don't have a name, do they?
Well, they go...
They must have some sort of name.
Yeah,
I
the
don't think
things
they
that
do.
unfurl. and
Party
They don't
poopers.
have a
Party
name.
pipes. Party pipes. I'll bring some party pipes.
I look forward to that. It's so not called party pipes.
then- That's not what they're going to be known to me forever. That's
I'll bring some
amazing.
party pipes along with. I'll bring the Jaffa cakes next time, Nick.
I know. I
Oh.
forgot the Jaffa cakes.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
It
sorry
was a
about
little
that,
dig.
yeah.
You picked up on that. Well
Yeah.
done. Oh, so what's going to happen?
Well-
we're still doing these. We're still doing these with Verity.
Gamecast
Yes.
will
It
continue.
will continue.
Yeah,
To be honest, he was the weak link
yeah.
out of the three of us.
I'm not leaving through choice. I'm actually being booted out.
Yeah, we've
Good.
figured them out.
Will we have someone else?
Yes.
Is it
Because
gonna-
otherwise we'll just talk about EastEnders.
Just be us arguing. You'll turn up late, and we'll argue.
Yeah.
You were late again today. It's got to be said.
Well, we hadn't started recording, so ultimately I wasn't late.
Well, no, you were late because we were booked to start at 4:30. I was down in reception for 15 minutes. It was in reception, and after 15
you
minutes...
weren't.
No, I was.
Well, that wasn't my fault.
No, the guy came out. The way it works is you go up to reception, say, hello, Ian Lacey, Nick Taylor. Okay, here's a badge. I'll let him know, right? 15 minutes later, the guy came over and said, who are you here to see? I went, Nick Taylor. Does he know you're here? You should have told him 15 minutes ago. So I texted Nick saying, I'm here, and they've not told me.
Sounds like he was one of the odd...
He was not
He's
one,
not one of the usuals.
not one I'd seen before.
Oh,
It was-
newbies.
Yeah.
He was very unusual. in
Doesn't
many different ways.
understand
But then
how
also you were
reception
there. We
works.
did wait 10 minutes for you to come in to start recording. Anyway, do we know who we've got?
Not yet, no.
So, if you want to leave a goodbye message for Nick, go to the Facebook page and please do, and we'll have a little thread going there, and we'll read them out, and we'll have an emotional.
And then, of course, he'll always be contributing to the Gamecast page, keeping up with what's going on.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. I will.
So he's not properly leaving. Halo fans, Are you excited? Halo 4, one of us has posted.
Me.
Richard Hill has posted. Is it Bungie?
Yeah,
I can never get it right. That and Ubisoft? Ubisoft.
It's Ubisoft.
Right, those two. Without Bungie at the helm, I was worried that the franchise would go downhill, but actually excited having seen the new footage. Looking great. And then Daniel says, another fancy duck shoot.
Oh dear. Well, from what I saw, a lot of people were very excited by Halo 4. I think there was a lot of people thinking it was going to be a bit rubbish, but after the trailer, pretty excited. Again, not really, I'm going to say, my bag, but it did, it's an impressive trailer. If you haven't seen it, go have a little watch.
Okay, listen, that's probably all we've got time for. We've been going on for absolutely ages. Listen to the homework, go to the Facebook page and give us your answers. It is Nick's last Gamecast next month, so, send him some messages. Well, let's send in some honest messages. Send in the things you found that were good and, maybe the things that you found that weren't so good. Yeah. I think we should have an honest send-off, not one of these, nice. I remember when Nick did this and I think we should be honest and say, well, he's a human being.
I'm not convinced. No.
Nick's on his way, let's slag him off. That's a great idea.
It's like what they call it in the States, a roast. They call it a roast, don't they?
Yeah,
let's spit roast Nick.
Wow. That's a different game.
Is that not the same thing? Right. Verity, a pleasure as always.
Of course, you too.
Nick, I shall see you next time.
Toodle pip.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Gamecast from MSN.